What is up, Scarnet, bringing you my Pokemon Sun and Moon very late update. That the reason that I've been so late is because pretty much been overwhelmed with work. Pretty much, repetitive is repetitive. I need to shake all the cobwebs out because it's been a very long time. So I'm gonna split this up to like 4 different parts. The first part, that is this part right here, is going to be introducing the new Pokemon up to this point from last time when I posted a video. Part 2 will be about the new features, Part 3 about some Pokemon forms, and Part 4 about what Pokemon features that I would put into the game, you know, stuff that I mentioned before. And yeah, this is gonna be a very long video. Hopefully it won't take all that long. So with that being said, I'm gonna kind of do it out of order at the same time. Not really, it's only for like if there's like, let's say you're gonna see the example immediately, but pretty much like a Pokemon that came out first and then out of nowhere is gonna have a pre-evolution, stuff like that is gonna be out of order. So just don't you sweat it. It's gonna be very soon. So let's get this thing started. So the first Pokemon that, you know, has been introduced since the time of the absence is of course Wimpod. Wimpod is a bug water type with the ability Wimp Out. So it's gonna be one of those annoying Pokemon where once you see it, it's going to be a little bit hard to catch, because once it gets low HP, the ability Wimp Out will be initiated and it will run away as soon as possible. Now I feel like if it will have an evolution, which most likely it will, because I don't think it will just stay in that small stage. I don't like it when Pokemon don't evolve and stay in a very, I don't know, it just does not look like something that could go against, like, I don't know, a Charizard or anything like that. That you don't see itself standing out and being very strong. I imagine that its evolution would be very terrifying, and it would be the opposite of Wimpy. But hopefully it will get there, because it's one of those type of, you know, water bug types, or, you know, one of those insects that would run away as soon as it sees light, you know. So I really hope that it does have some strong will against it. Not really against it, but you know, the other way around. But either way, the next Pokemon is Bonsweet. I kind of like this Pokemon. It's like a little baby grass plum with the diaper on, with the abilities Leaf Guard and Oblivious. There's not really much to say here. It's not really much shown. Bonsweet is a grass type, and that's about it. And it seems like there's going to be a counterpart to it, because this might be either in Pokemon Sun or Moon exclusively for right now. And the other counterpart might be Comfey, or, you know, short for, well, I want to say confetti, but I don't think it's confetti. It's like one of those headdresses. It says on the Pokédex description that it collects flowers that it likes and collects it in his ring. And it is a pure fairy type, but has the ability Flower Veil and Tri-Age, which is a new ability. I don't really remember what Tri-Age does. I'll probably put it into the video right here. But Comfey, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I feel like it's one of those Pokemon that's similar to Chimecho, where it's just one of those decorations that you put on a house, or well, then again, in this case, you would just put it on your head. But you know, it's just one of those decorative Pokemon that you would just put there. You know, someday there'll be a doorknob Pokemon. That's about it. It's just one of those appliances that you would just put somewhere, I guess. I'm not really sure. But, you know, in this case, this is the type of Pokemon that I don't see having an evolution, because there's not really much to grow from here. You're gonna have a serious headdress if it evolves any further, so I don't really know. Pre-evolution, not either. It's already small enough, so I have no idea. Like I said, it is a fairy type, so it's introducing more fairy types through and through, which it really needs to, because fairy types has, obviously since it's new, is not gonna have that much, especially since Pokemon that already had existing typings, or has already existed before the fairy typing been introduced, has, you know, that ability with it. But this is where the order goes you know, kind of sporadic. So I'm gonna introduce to you Mudbray or Mudsbray. I'm not really sure how it is, but it's like a mud mule Pokemon. It came after this first trailer introduction, but the reason I did that is because, like I said, it's a pre-evolution to the Pokemon Mudsdale, as you see here. Mudsdale was introduced first. So Mudsbray is an interesting Pokemon. I already saw like the screenshot, and I know where the Pokemon most likely will be at. It's in a ranch area, as you see here on the map. This is where it is, based upon the screenshot, knowing all the haystacks and the wooden posts and such like that. And Mudsdale is one of the riding Pokemon, because I did mention about riding Pokemon before. So far, the Pokemon that has been introduced last time I mentioned was Lapras, I believe, and not Herdier. I keep saying Herdier. Stoutland. But there's other Pokemon that has been introduced to riding Pokemon like Tauros and Sharpedo and Charizard, etc., etc. Mudsdale being one of them, of course. That's why I mention it. And at first, I thought it's one of those Pokemon that could be competitively broken because it has the ability Stamina. And, well, speaking of which, I was going to mention about the music because I started noticing the music when Mudsdale just started coming out of nowhere. I really like the wild battle music. You know, it has the little rhythm beat. Anyway, I don't really do good at sound effects when it comes to music, but Stamina, every time the Pokemon gets hit, it raises its defense. Now at first when I saw the trailer, I thought it was gonna work the same way as Speed Boost, so every single turn it would gain its defense. But no, it's every time it gets a hit. So special defensive side hopefully is strong enough, because on the special side it won't be that great. But at first, when I was thinking that it would be like a Speed Boost variant where every turn it gains defense, then if you were to baton pass the special defense side and do that and give it, like, I don't know, protect and rest, it would be probably broken, because I feel like Mudsdale would be a Pokemon that would learn rest. So it is a fantastic Pokemon in that, but unfortunately it's every time it gets hit. That's what the Stamina ability is. And I could swear there was another ability. I don't see it on my notes. I think there was another ability. I just don't see it on here for right now. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Either way, though, there's the next Pokemon, Oricorio. Or, I don't know. I'm sorry if I mispronounce these names. You know, the anime would correct me, but, you know, if it's not Magmortar, it's Magmortar. But then again, the anime did mispronounce, like, you know, Pidgeot, because it's Pidgeot, not Pidgeot. But yeah. Also, I forgot to mention, since I mentioned about the pre-evolution, again, I'm going out of order, but there is other Pokemon that's been introduced. We'll just continue going out of order. We saw the Pokemon Yungoos, where it looks like a very, very angry Pokemon. When I first saw it, I thought it wasn't exactly, I don't know, it just didn't seem like a Pokemon that would be a thing, you know? You know, the first time I saw Patrat, I was like, whoa, it looks way too angry for any people, really. But yeah, it actually has a new evolution, which is the Pokemon Gumshoes, where if that name sounds familiar to you, it's because the first thought that came to my mind when I saw the name Gumshoes was Phoenix Wright, because the detective that, you know, the clumsy detective that doesn't really know much about detective work is Officer Gumshoes. So basically Gumshoes, I don't know if it's just a Japan thing, but it means detective pretty much. And that's the type of hat it has, you know, one of those English hats. That is what it's based off of, because it's one of those Pokemon, like in the animal kingdom, I guess, since it has the ability Stake Out, it would just look out to see if there's anything coming or something like that. And Gumshoes being a more solid Pokemon, I suppose, a more leadership type of Pokemon, would be on the case, you know. Detective Gumshoes is on the case. And yeah, it's still normal type, and there's something more to it, really, about the whole. Well, I'll get to that, but let's just say it could be considered, you know, a deity in his own right. Just for right now. I mean, most of you guys already know. Like I said, I'm very, very late on this, but yeah, for right now, that is what the information I got. There's another Pokemon on here. Or is this talking about... Oh, that's right. They're gonna... Well, let's just go with Rockruff for right now. Remember Rockruff, the rock Pokemon, where... Well, I kept on gushing about that. If it existed in Generation 1, it'd be most likely completely broken because it's a rock type. All rock types are defensive as heck. So, just knowing that the speed will be there as well, you could just easily not worry about any damage, deal damage, and be amazing about it. But this is the most recent news as of right now. This is dating the video, of course, but Rockruff has a new evolution. I forget what it's called though. I think it's like Lugaret. Oh my gosh, I can't read. Lugarugan. I can't read. But Lugarugan, like I said, I won't be able to pronounce these names correctly, but there is two forms to this Pokemon. There is a midday form, which more likely looks like a regular wolf Pokemon, and there's a midnight form, which looks completely insane. Like, it would murder people. Like, it ate something, and there was something in that something. I kind of like the design just a little bit. I'm kind of half and half about it, because I thought originally when I think of werewolf, I thought, well, I guess to be fair, it does look like a wolf, but like I was expecting something a bit, you know, more rock looking than just a wolf, you know, because it looks more like a coyote to me, to be honest. But the second evolution does look like Wile E. Coyote. But at the same time, I like the design of all things. It really doesn't say anything new about it, and it doesn't really clarify how to get it. It just says midday and midnight form. Now, there was one of the features where I should mention that, where I might have mentioned in the next video that Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon will be taking place 12 hours apart no matter what. So if you play Pokemon Moon and it's day in your game, Pokemon Sun will be in the nighttime. And vice versa on that. So if Pokemon Sun will be in the daytime, Pokemon Moon will be in the nighttime. It sounds like I'm saying the same thing, but I'm really not. So I don't know if the midnight form will add a different type, like it will be rock dark. I don't know if it will or not. Preferably it is better if it doesn't, because dark type is the least offensive type. I'll get to that. And you know, it's better not to add another fighting weakness, because there's more than a couple Pokemon that are weak to fighting, and there's nothing you can do about that. Fighting will destroy all our lives. But yeah, there's some other Pokemon right here. Oh yeah, I kind of skipped over Oricorio, but I didn't even get to that. Alright then. So, Oricorio is a bird Pokemon. I'm sorry for skipping over you. It's nothing against you. It's just that I was just debating whether I should go to you next or a Pokemon that I already mentioned before. But there are 4 forms of Oricorio. Okay, so it's the Bailey style dance for fire flying type, the Pom Pom style for electric flying type, so it'll be more cheerleading, the Pau style for psychic flying type, and the Sensu style for ghost flying type. Now, like I said, they're all distributed on islands, and the way I would suggest, because I noticed something, and this is what people have been saying as well, that pretty much, I think what some people's been saying about what islands might be what, based on the colors that these Pokemon offer us. So since Melee Island already translates to yellow, that would more likely be where the Pom Pom style Oricorio is. And as you notice, the description says that it tries out these flowers and that's how it gets their form. So every time you see these trailers, there's some type of coloration of the flowers right there, and all of them, like I said, has their own colors. And I forget what the islands are called, but I'll put it on screen just so you guys know what they are called. But of course, the second island towards the right, like I remember last time, it was already in order where Melee Islands, the top left island, the top right island most likely would be the red island. I don't remember what it's called. I want to say is Ule Island or something like that. The island on the right, I believe, would be pink. I do believe. And the one on the left, for some reason I do remember this. This is the Violet Island, which is most likely called Pony Island, since they're all translations from the language. So, we're gonna have these Pokemon. And there was another Pokemon I was trying to remember. Remember Cutie Fly? The little fairy Pokemon? I don't know if it's fairy flying or not, or fairy, no, it's fairy bug. But there's like little screenshot of a possible evolution that it might have, because it looks different and it looks pixie-ish. And I didn't really know that Cutie Fly would get an evolution, but it does, according to this, because it has a different shape head and everything. But there you go, Cutie Fly does indeed have an evolution, even though I just contradicted myself like a couple seconds ago, but whatever. This is a different Pokemon, is the point. Oh, that's right. And remember Beware the Pokemon, the one that loves to hug. There's a pre-evolution called Stuffle. It's kind of like a red panda Pokemon. Well, that I already mentioned with the bear because it kind of looks red panda-ish, even though it's pink. But Stuffle is like a little teddy bear Pokemon in a way, because it has a tag stuck up. Well, just sticking out, I suppose. Just like how Raikou has, like, you know, Harry Potter's wand stuck up his. Yeah, I mean, you know, it could be a tooth fairy or whatever, but either way, Stuffle is kind of the opposite of what Bear. He doesn't like anybody touching it. As soon as you touch it, it will just flail his arms around, and it is still a dark fighting type, I do believe. But I do feel like Wabear is gonna be a Team Rocket. Like, I feel like it's gonna be James' Pokemon, because for some reason James really like Pokemon that could really hurt him, like Cacneas, Thorn Hugs, and getting eaten by Carnivine, and, you know, getting eaten by Victory Bell. You know, that's acid in there. Like, if you look at this page right here, those are all food for Victory Bell, and when it gets dipped into his acid, they're all gone, pretty much. But yeah, that is frightening, to be honest with you. So I do feel like, and especially since the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime has been confirmed, and I do see Wabear right by Team Rocket, then my guess is most likely correct, I believe. There is, don't worry about it. I'm not saying that I'm always right, because the new features in the next video proves me that I'm most of the time wrong. So either way, so the next Pokemon is Minior. Minior is a rock flying type. I don't know why it's flying type, but it is located in the stratosphere and has an ability called Shields Down, where as soon as you hit him in a low enough health, it would break his shield, I suppose you could say his outer shell, and it would drop his defense and raises up his speed. And depending on what color it is, I forget what it was exactly, but it benefits something of some kind, and it could be in multiple colors. I think there's just up to 4, possibly more. I want to say more. I really do want to say more. I really didn't look into it, but Minior, I don't know if it will have an evolution or not. I sure hope it does. I always like evolution. But yeah, that's pretty much it about Minior. So we're already 20 minutes in, my gosh. The next Pokemon is Fomantis. It's a grass type Pokemon with the ability Leaf Guard, and there's not really much to talk about with Fomantis, to be honest, or Fomantis, sorry. But it does have an evolution, which is Lurantis, and I do know that it has a new move called Solar Blade, which is most likely the physical side of Solar Beam, where, you know, it will take a turn and then the next turn it will do physical damage. And just like Gumshoos, Lurantis plays an important part in the islands, as you will know later on. The next Pokemon is Sandygast. It is a Ghost Ground type Pokemon. Now it says here, a Sandygast emerges when the grudges of Pokemon and other creatures soak into the sand after they fall in battle. In essence, it's possessed by lumps of sand. If used hideously, what the heck? Grab a Sandygast shovel, you'll fall under the Pokemon's control. Now, I really like the Sandygast right here because it actually, you know, it has a little shovel. I mean, I really like the design per se, but it's a great concept. Like, I would never think like a Sandcastle Pokemon would also be Ghost. It makes sense, and it actually has the ability Water Compaction. So whenever it takes a Water type hit, I believe it raises a special defense, I think? I'm not really sure. But it still takes damage is the only problem. And I don't really like it. I'd rather have it where it's a water absorb where it won't take damage, so it would be used right competitively instead of taking damage. Because if it dies to one hit, like let's say, you know, a Primal Kyogre using Origin Pulse, and it'll take that special defense raise, it's probably not living. So, you know, either way. Sandygast have an evolution of Palosand. You know, from like, what's that word? It's on the tip of my tongue, but like, you know, used for ghosts, like the poltergeist, the poltergeist. I don't know, but Palosand, a bigger version, it's a sandcastle, a full sandcastle. And it says once some pieces are coming off, just like Regirock, it is able to fix itself, but it prefers possessing other people to fix it for it, which makes it a very cool Pokemon. Other cool Pokemon is Wishy-Washy, the little fish Pokemon. It is just water type. The reason I think it's cool because it has the ability Schooling. When it reaches a high enough level, most likely level 20 is my guess, just like Gyarados, because it has Gyarados as an example. And there's some screenshots here and there proving the point. It changes forms, and it has all these fishes that will most likely other Wishy-Washies that goes together and forms this big old killer shark whale or some kind. And it's a frightening Pokemon, and it also plays an important role similar to Lurantis and Gumshoos. I'll get to that in the next video, but for right now, my question is, how is it that you know, like, there's different color Wishy-Washies I see here, and there's some fishes that are bigger than others, and I'm not really sure how they would create the whole shape, you know. That's my question, because it really doesn't it doesn't fit very well. But there's some screenshots, and it deals a lot of damage, so it really does have a very scary effect to it. But the only bad thing is, if it gets low enough health, it will get back to the form originally was with the little fish Pokemon Wishy-Washy, and most likely the defenses and the offense will be taken out. So the next Pokemon is Puyukumuku. Oh my gosh, I cannot pronounce that right. Puyukumuku. It is a sea cucumber Pokemon. It is a water type, and there's not really much to say. It has like an inside out fist. Once the animation, once it dies, the little hand comes out. But there's another feature that where the trailer shows, it's not even a trailer, it's like its own video, where the mini game where you could throw Puyukumuku, or whatever the heck it's called. So I'll just call it the sea cucumber Pokemon for right now, where you toss it back into the ocean and you get compensated for it. So not really much else to say. The ability is in or out. Not really sure what the ability is either, so I'll put it on screen for right now. I do apologize for not being fully informed of what Puyukumuku does, but yeah, it does has the description of what Puyukumuku does. People do not like this Pokemon, but at least it's loved by others, because, you know, there's some people that has like a helmet of this Pokemon and, you know, other designs elsewhere. Now here's a Pokemon. It is Morlul, a grass fairy type Pokemon, illuminating Pokemon. And it says Morlul are nocturnal Pokemon. It reminds me of Fungus a little bit, and it glows in the dark time. So it is just nocturnal, and it's kind of interesting. It's grass fairy type. I didn't even know that. I thought it was something else. I thought it was just grass poison like always. Not really introduced any evolutions as of yet. I would like it to have something. I imagine it being like 3 giant mushrooms, one being bigger. It would be like a duck trio, but mushrooms instead. That's how I imagine Morlul to evolve. It's like one of those mushrooms you see randomly on like a Super Mario game. You know how Nintendo loves their mushrooms. The next Pokemon is Turtonator. It is a fire dragon type, and for some reason in the trailer introducing Turtonator, it shows nothing but turtles getting destroyed by this Pokemon. It has the shell armor ability. I don't think that's right actually. I could swear there was a different ability, like every time you attack it, it explodes or something like that. But in the anime I could definitely imagine this because it does mention about a weak spot that Turtonator has, and it's in the front of his chest. It's like in the very dead center of his chest. It's like a little opening crater. That's why whenever you see it in battle, its shell will be towards the opponent at all times. So the next Pokemon is Crabrawler. It is just a fighting type, surprisingly, because usually crab Pokemon are always water Pokemon. It has the Hyper Cutter ability, Iron Fist as well, or either one would be the ability. And no matter what, it likes to fight, it likes to be competitive. It reminds me of the Finding Nemo Fist, just like how I did the wishy-washy thing. And its favorite fruit is berries, apparently. And if it sees a berry up on a tree, it would, you know, try to climb it. And if another Crabrawler would were to see this berry, it would compete with this other Crabrawler and fight to the death, pretty much. So yay! And just as a spoiler alert, I don't know how much you guys care about spoilers, but Professor Hala would have this Pokemon in his disposal. The last Pokemon that I'll be introducing today, and the reason I'm saving this for last, I mean I was debating, but I'll save a couple of these Pokemon for later. Now you'll understand why, but one of the Pokemon is Jangmo-o, and the reason I don't know whether to have this Pokemon and introduce it to you guys is because there's another Pokemon with a very odd name that I will save for later. So as for right now, Jangmo-o is a Pokemon that is a dragon type, and most likely it would evolve into the infamous Facito Legendary. I don't know why I say infamous, because infamous is kind of a negative term in a way, but it has the ability bulletproof and soundproof, and I really like the description on this Pokemon. And it says, Jangmo-o has the pride of a warrior, although it remains humble about its capabilities in its pursuit to become stronger. It never neglects its training, because Jangmo-o uses the skills on its head for both offense and defense. It never turns its back to its enemies. Many trainers see this behavior and take it as proof that Jangmo-o is a valiant Pokemon. Jangmo-o gather in harsh locales like canyons where no other people or Pokemon are around to live together as they train. Very interesting Pokemon, definitely a valiant Pokemon, something that I would like in my team. And that is all the Pokemon for today. Alright, so breaking news right before I end this. Yeah, the day this video's going to be uploaded, there's already 2 new Pokemon. As soon as I was gonna get ready to upload them, it is in fact 2 Pokemon, Passimian, which is a fighting type football monkey Pokemon, which I do recall that, well, Game Explain did mention, and other sources mentioned that there's something specific. I forget what it was. It was like some Chinese leak or some kind. They mentioned some Pokemon that actually came true, which really goes to their credibility. And they even mentioned about a Pokemon coming up that was a football monkey player or something. And that's as specific as it gets, and lo and behold that it is true, and the credibility is this is a good source, is what I'm saying. And they were not lying. I forget what the other Pokemon that they mentioned before. I want to say it's Mudsdale that they said, but the source is real and it is credible. And the next Pokemon is Oranguru, which is a normal psychic type orangutan Pokemon. I don't think they evolve from each other, or maybe they do stem from the same family, but maybe it's not yet revealed whether there's a second evolution. Because I feel like because there's similar colorations and stuff like that, that they have some connection, just like Luvdisc and Alomomola. But the abilities are very interesting. Hopefully I mentioned about Oranguru's type is normal psychic. I don't know if I mentioned it already. I feel like I have. But Passimian has the ability Receiver. So if in double battles or maybe even triple battles, if a fallen Pokemon dies to something, it carries on that ability of the fallen Pokemon. So in the trailer, it shows the double battles where Vikavolt has fallen and it has the ability Levitate. So since Vikavolt died, Passimian carried on the ability Levitate, and it used it for his initiative, something like that. And then Palo San tried to Earthquake or Earth Power, I believe, and it didn't affect because it replaced the ability, which is a great strategy, because now you could really think of good strategies, like maybe if Shedinja falls, then Wonder Guard will pass on to Passimian, and then it'll only be weak to flying and psychic types, and that's the only way you could kill it, and that would be great. And then maybe if he has like a move that could change his type, then that would be problematic. But Oranguru has the ability, well, is inner focus and telepathy, but it has the new move that they emphasize on this. It is called Instruct, where if it goes to the next Pokemon in double battles, maybe even triple battles, I'm not really sure if they gotta do that or not, but it will tell that Pokemon to do the last move they did over again. So that could be also very strategically done. So it would actually, I don't know, all these Pokemon so far are competitive blah, 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 vile words. You know, just like I mentioned about Mudsdale, that stamina, like if it's like a speed boost variant, which is not, it would have been broken pretty much. And those are all the new Pokemon here today for sure. And they also mentioned about Rockruss Evolution, which the English name is called Lycanroc, or is it Lycanroc? I'm not really sure, but both of them are definitely rock types, and they are version exclusives, where the midday form is in Sun and the midnight form is in Moon. And yeah, definitely looking forward to it. Now is all the Pokemon has been dealt with. That is all the Pokemon for today that I would like to introduce to you. I do apologize yet again for taking very, very long time to post a video for you guys. But as for right now, I will just say that I will post more videos more often. I always have a hiatus every single year. That's just how it's always been. This has just been coincidentally the longest one yet, where I've been gone for 2 months. But I'm back on it again, and in the next video we will cover all the new features of the Pokemon, and then of course part 3 will have all the different forms of Pokemon, and part 4 will be the features that I would be introducing if I were to be on the roll of making this game. Or I guess the next game, because it's still a possibility, guys. So as for right now, I'm Scar Knight, and if you are new here, please subscribe for more, and I promise I'll be back posting more videos, and just keep at it. Alright? You've been scarred by the night. I'm out!